The sun beats down on a narrow, dusty alley in a Lagos slum. Ramshackle buildings lean precariously. Children play with a deflated ball. Adaeze, her simple cotton dress stained but clean, expertly navigates the crowded space, a tray of freshly baked plantain chips balanced on her head. Her eyes, however, hold a fire, a determination that belies her surroundings. She calls out, her voice clear and strong. A group of boys tries to snatch a handful. Adaeze, quick as lightning, blocks them with a practiced move. She flashes a defiant smile. Her phone, a worn model, buzzes. It's Mama NKM. Adaeze's face softens with concern. She disconnects, her gaze sweeping the horizon, a desperate hope in her eyes. The camera focuses on a faded newspaper clipping she clutches, an advert for a high-paying maid position in a wealthy Ikoyi estate. Mbadiwe Manor. A vast, opulent study. Walls lined with rare books, exotic art pieces. Chukwudi Mbadiwe, impeccably dressed in a tailored silk kaftan, stares out a panoramic window, his back to us. He looks burdened, distant. Piles of financial reports sit untouched on his antique desk. Madam Joyce Mbadiwe, a formidable woman in a flowing, embroidered lace gown, enters, her presence commanding. Chukwudi sighs, turning. His eyes are intelligent but haunted. Chukwudi barely registers her words, lost in his thoughts. The camera briefly zooms on a framed photo on his desk, a smiling man who resembles him. This establishes Chukwudi's wealth and his melancholic disposition, hinting at a past tragedy, his father's death, that affects him deeply. Madam Joyce's controlling nature and high expectations set up a potential conflict for Adaeze. The mention of a new house staff directly links back to Adaeze's aspiration. Adaeze stands nervously at the imposing gates of Mbadiwe Manor, clutching her tattered bag and the newspaper clipping. The gates are tall, ornate, a symbol of the world she is about to enter. Other applicants, dressed more formally, eye her with disdain. Adaeze ignores them, her chin held high. Papa Ikwe, the elderly chauffeur, emerges from a gatehouse. He has a kindly, observant gaze. Papa Ekwe studies her, a flicker of something in his eyes. He ushers her in. The foyer is grand, with gleaming marble floors and soaring ceilings. Adaeze feels a rush of awe and intimidation. Kemi, a slightly older maid with a perpetual frown, gestures curtly. Adaeze simply nods, observing her surroundings with sharp, intelligent eyes. Madam Joyce sits regally, sipping tea. She scrutinizes Adaeze, making her feel small. Madam Joyce raises an eyebrow, intrigued by Adaeze's confidence. Adaeze's heart pounds. This is her chance. Adaeze dives into her duties with fierce determination. She cleans, she tidies, she organizes. Kemi watches her with a mix of suspicion and grudging respect. She observes the dynamics of the household. Madam Joyce's constant demands, Chukwudi's reclusiveness, Ifeanyi's frequent visits. Ifeanyi often flirts with the maids, but Adaeze maintains a polite distance. One evening, Adaeze is cleaning the study. She notices a hidden compartment in Chukwudi's desk. Her curiosity is piqued, but she resists the urge to pry. Chukwudi enters, surprising her. He notices her lingering gaze towards the desk. Chukwudi gives her a scrutinizing look, then dismisses her. Adaeze feels a peculiar energy between them. Adaeze begins her work, showing her dedication. The introduction of the hidden compartment sparks the mystery element. Chukwudi's brief interaction hints at his observation of Adaeze and her intelligence. Adaeze calls her mother. She stares at the ceiling, thinking. She remembers her father's words, Adaeze, always be observant. The smallest details tell the biggest stories. The next day, while cleaning, she overhears a hushed conversation between Madam Joyce and Ifeanyi. Adaeze freezes, hidden from view. A cold dread washes over her. Inheritance. Plan. She remembers Chukwudi's melancholic state and the hidden compartment. Adaeze settles into her routine. The overheard conversation and her father's advice push her to investigate. The mystery deepens. Chukwudi is out. Adaeze, torn between her duties and her growing unease, cautiously approaches the desk. She uses a small, intricate hairpin she often wears is a gift from her mother to subtly pick the lock of the hidden compartment. It clicks open. Inside, she finds old letters, a will, and a small, antique locket. The will names Chukwudi as the sole beneficiary, but with a clause, if he is deemed unfit to manage the estate within 2 years of his father's death, control passes to Ifeanyi and Madam Joyce. His father died exactly 18 months ago. Adaeze's eyes widened. They are trying to prove him unstable. She hears footsteps. Quickly, she locks the compartment and resumes cleaning. Ifeanyi walks in, surprised to see her. Ifeanyi eyes her suspiciously, then shrugs, distracted by his phone. Adaeze breathes a silent sigh of relief. Adaeze's curiosity leads her to a crucial discovery, the will and the dangerous clause. The close call with Ifeanyi heightens the tension. Adaeze is deep in thought while peeling yams. Kemi enters, complaining. Adaeze barely hears her. She knows she needs proof, but how? She recalls seeing Zara, Ifeanyi's fiancée, often in hushed conversations with Madam Joyce. Later that day, Adaeze notices Zara discreetly slipping something into Chukwidi's teacup, a tiny, clear capsule. Adaeze's eyes narrow. She manages to subtly knock the cup, spilling the tea. Zara, flustered, forces a smile. Adaeze quickly discards the tea, her mind racing. They are drugging him. Adaeze confirms her suspicions of foul play. The tea incident shows her quick thinking and directly implicates Zara. Chukwudi is restless, struggling with insomnia. Adaeze, who now often stays later to finish her duties, hears him. She brings him a glass of warm milk. Chukwudi looks at her, surprised by her concern. He drinks it, a rare moment of vulnerability showing through. He studies her face. The tension between them shifts from employer-employee to something more. He confesses, his voice low. Adaeze's heart aches for him. She wants to tell him everything, but it's too risky. Not yet. A bond begins to form between Adaeze and Chukwudi. He opens up, confirming his unwell state, which plays into his family's scheme. This deepens Adaeze's resolve to help him. Adaeze, on her day off, meets with an old friend, a sharp-witted young woman named Amora, who works at a local pharmacy. Adaeze discreetly asks Amora about the effect of certain colorless, tasteless sedatives. Amora gives her information, curious but trusts Adaeze. Adaeze then visits Mom and Kem. Her mother's condition seems to be worsening slightly. Adaeze feels the pressure intensify. She needs to expose the Mbadiwe, but carefully. Adaeze seeks external help and information, using her street smarts. The urgency of her mother's health adds another layer of motivation. A lavish dinner. Madam Joyce, Ifeanyi, Zara, and Chukwudi are present. Adaeze serves her senses on high alert. Zara, confident their plan is working, tries to corner Chukwudi into signing some papers. Adaeze notices Zara preparing Chukwudi's after-dinner digestive. She sees her add another capsule. Adaeze acts quickly. As she passes by, she accidentally spills a glass of water, soaking the documents and Zara's dress. Zara shrieks. Madam Joyce is furious. Ifeanyi sighs. In the chaos, Adaeze quickly swaps Chukwudi's prepared drink with an identical, untainted one. Later, Chukwudi, surprisingly clear-headed, reviews the contract and finds glaring discrepancies. He looks at Adaeze, who is cleaning up. A flicker of suspicion crosses his face, then understanding. Dinner is the turning point. Adaeze's quick thinking thwarts Zara's attempt to manipulate Chukwudi, and the subtle exchange of drinks allows him to think clearly. He begins to piece things together. Chukwudi, now fully alert, calls Adaeze to his study. He holds the locket he found in the hidden compartment. It contains a tiny photo of his father and a young woman. Adaeze hesitates, then decides to trust him. She tells him about the will, the overheard conversations, the capsules, everything. She shows him the precise spot of the hidden compartment. Chukwudi is stunned, then enraged. Chukwudi looks at her, a profound shift in his gaze. He reaches for her hand, a gesture of gratitude and something more. Adaeze reveals the truth to Chukwudi. The connection between them deepens into trust and admiration. They decide to work together to expose the conspiracy. The discovery of the locket with the mysterious woman hints at another layer of the family secret. Madam Joyce and Ifeanyi are in a celebratory mood, believing their plan is nearing completion. Zara joins them, grinning. Suddenly, Detective Akim walks in, accompanied by Chukwudi and Adaeze. Chukwudi holds up the wheel and a small, sealed bag containing the remaining capsules. Madam Joyce and Ifeanyi gasp. Zara pales. Adaeze stares, shocked, at Chukwudi, then at the locket. The truth of her heritage, intertwined with her current reality, washes over her. The climax unfolds. The conspiracy is exposed, and a huge revelation about Adaeze's true identity as Chukwudi's half-sister and co-heir changes everything. This twist that made the trope on its head, making her a rightful member of the family. Madam Joyce, Ifeanyi, and Zara are escorted away by the police, their faces etched with shock and defeat. Kemi, watching, is wide-eyed. Papa Ekwe looks at Adaeze with a knowing, gentle smile. Chukwudi stands beside Adaeze, a newfound peace in his eyes. Weeks later, Mom and Kem, looking healthier, sits comfortably in the Mbadiwe garden, laughing with Papa Ekwe. Adaeze, now dressed in an elegant, well-tailored two-piece set made from a rich, textured Nigerian fabric, sits with Chukwudi at an outdoor table. They are reviewing documents, but their conversation is warm, familiar. They share a knowing smile.